And we got permission from Luke to play this part of the speech for you because his message is the same as our message, and Ron Paul's message is the same as our message, and it's a very simple message. In fact, it's a message which rejects violence, which rejects a central control, which props up the idea that we have individual determination, that we have personal sovereignty and an individual ego, that our liberties are guaranteed, and that there should be limitations on the state. Those are things which we agree with, and anyone who is liberty-minded agrees with. And here's Luke talking. It's kind of like a call to action, a call to realize that there's something that you can do as a member of this movement.
Now, Gandhi always said, first, they ignore you. They ignored us for a while. They ignored this movement for a while. Then they laugh at you. They did a lot of laughing. They laughed their ass off. Then they fight you. We're in this phase right now. But then we win. We have the possibility and chance to win. And I truly believe it in my heart. I know that we will win. I know we will be successful. Because there's nothing else stopping humanity. If we follow principles of peace, love, humanity, and dignity, we can do this. I know we can. But you have to have that belief in you. You have to stay positive. Concentrating on a negative, screaming at people, it's not going to work. It's not going to go anywhere. But at the same time, be careful of provocateurs. I've been in this movement for about 6 to 7 years right now, and I had many times people come up to me, "Hey, Luke, I got some guns. You want some guns?" Get the F out of my face. No. "Luke, let's go bomb this place." What? And you could see by the person's body language that he's like being forced to do this. I had people coming up to me saying, "Look, we could sell some drugs. We'll make a lot of money for We Are Change." Like, get out of my face. I know what you're doing. It's not going to work at all. We have a code of conduct. We have principles. We have our own heart, and we listen to it, and no one will sway us. Be careful, because there is people who are working for the government, or retarded, either or, don't matter, who want war, who want conflict, who want to do all this stupid, retarded things. But we as a movement, we have to look at each other, and we have to, see from right and wrong. And even in this conference, if you hear anybody talking about some stupid gun crap, you got to talk to them like, you can't be a part of us if you're going to be talking about violence. You can't be a part of us if you're talking about killing cops. You can't be a part of us if you want to build a bunker and fight people. This is not about fighting. Our weapons of choice is truth, love, dignity, and humanity. 100 times stronger than their weapons, than their bullets, than their guns, than their bazookas, because we know in our hearts that this is the only weapon that could truly be successful. Throughout history, this is the only thing that worked. Violence only creates more violence, and it's a circle. We don't need a revolution. A revolution, we come back to the same place where we were before. That's the definition of a revolution. And that's what happened with France. That's what happened with China. That's what happened with Russia. We need an evolution. We need to wake up as a humanity and look at each other and see each other and understand we all are people. We are all living in this world. But there's 1% of these little son of a bastards that are messing it up for everybody. And we have to understand that as people. Now, we live in very dangerous times, but we live in very beautiful times. One person, one soul, one humanity could speak to the whole world with the internet. It's a double-edged sword, but let's use it to our best advantage. And I think it's amazing. And I'm so proud and I'm so happy to be standing with all of you. I'm so happy, I'm so proud to be here with you and understand the power that we have together as humanity. The power within myself. And hopefully I could try to influence you and make you understand. You have the power to do anything you want in this world. Nothing is impossible. We could do anything as long as we believe in it. Trust me, I've been in this movement for a while. We did a lot of impossible things. If you're not having fun, if you're not happy with what you're doing, you are not successful. The key to success is being happy with yourself and enjoying what you do. And I see a lot of negativity, I see a lot of hate within this movement. And there's no reason to be hateful. We have the best opportunity ever throughout history to take back what is rightfully for and by the people. We have the internet, something we never had before, being able to speak to millions of people. These are amazing times that we are living in. There's no reason to be hateful, anger, and then when we are hateful and anger, we project that onto others, and we're negative. And I'm telling you right now, the more positive you are, the more happy you are, the more successful things you will do in life, the better things we will accomplish as a movement together. So again, keep positive, have fun, enjoy this. This is life. You have one. You have a short time in this world. Don't get bogged down by the negativity, the depression, because that is what they want. They want you to be depressed. They want you to be angry. But when you're not angry, when you're not depressed, when you're not fearful, you stand as a free man, because you have nothing to lose. So, members, I love all you guys. Remember, always have love and passion in your hearts. Love what we are doing. You have a very short time in this world. Make sure your destiny, your life is fulfilled. Make sure you are happy with what you did. Do not be afraid to think and act freely without doubting yourself.
Now, when we talk about liberty evolution, we are talking about uniting the different groups. We might not agree with everything in a certain group, such as We Are Change, what Luke Radowski is involved with, but whether you call yourself a libertarian, voluntarist, anarchist, anarcho-capitalist, Republican, Second Amendment activist, whatever you call yourself, we're here to unite for the idea of freedom. It's a simple message. We unite. We evolve. We evolve to this new time period where we recognize liberty, human rights, non-violence. Do not force others, because that is not freedom.
Yeah, and I want to expand on something Adam said. Our tool of the internet, it will come in handy now, especially, and in the future, that we have the ability to spread messages and create and implement ideas infinitely by our sheer number. We have computers. Computers are a machine which annihilate time and space, and we can use these computers to annihilate the time that it will take for us to see liberty, true liberty, in our United States of America, and we have the access to all of the knowledge that humans have accumulated throughout history. It's easily accessed on the internet. You just have to question every message that you read, and you need to do a lot of work in being able to prove your arguments with sources, with this is actual historical fact, and that's why we want to see this change, this movement towards liberty.
And why do you think that they feel so threatened by information they are trying to move towards?
The state is what he's talking about.
Yes, in this case, the federal government trying to censor the internet, which would be controlling the internet, which would lead them to being able to expand their powers and just control the internet. The internet wouldn't be free. Why do you think they want to control this? They want to control the information just like they control the money and the food, like we talked about earlier. When you hold up a lie, you want to control every portal for that lie, which would be communication.
Right, and it's very well documented that the state, the federal government, Washington D.C., whatever you want to call them, they want you to consume only the media corporation's messages. I mean, it's very clear. Look at the way that the White House press corps, look at the how CNN and MSNBC, they're such a Fox News, they're such a huge part of the message process, and sure, they all have their own individual agendas, the journalists, I'm saying, but they do get marching orders from an establishment which is based on controlling the message for their own profit, really. I mean, the media corporations profit off of fear, they profit off of the social ills that plague us. I mean, it's obvious when you see what they choose to report and what they choose not to report, and you can see in their opinions, the opinions that they try to propagate in the public marketplace of ideas. They're not always beneficial to the cause of liberty, and they always get caught up in this hype and hysteria, which will lead to policies such as the foreign involvement and wars, especially.
This leads me to think also, why do they feel threatened and put Luke Rudkowski on the Southern Poverty Law Center Dangerous Patriots list along with other journalists? Why do they torture whistleblowers such as those involved with WikiLeaks? The control of information seems to be covering up anybody who can expose your bad actions. All they are is exposing bad actions. Regular cell phone cameras are being... There's a war on the American streets by the police force because they don't want to be held accountable. That's just a symptom of the force of the state in general.
And you can see the policies and actions of our government which prove that they don't want their own representatives to be held accountable the way that you as an individual would be. I mean, look at the erosion of the Fourth Amendment in the state of Indiana, where a police officer can just enter your home without a warrant just because of exigent circumstances that he himself caused. I mean, police officer, if he imagines some sound or claims that he heard some sound, he could enter your home and essentially do anything he wants, and he will be exonerated because for some reason we've given more immunity to our government agents than we as individuals have. And fact of the matter is that in a voluntary system, in the intent of creating a free nation under the rule of law, is that all people have the same rights. All people have the same powers. Even our president can be held accountable for crimes, and it's very sad that our presidents are not held accountable for crimes, because the crimes that they commit are far more heinous than the crimes that you could commit.
The only reason they're engaging in these actions is because they are threatened. They put you on a list because they are threatened by the individual. A free society rewards the individual for truth, for passion, for self-responsibility.
Our market rewards those who provide valuable services to each other, and we need to start looking at not only the physical market but the market of ideas, and the idea that there needs to be diversity in order for there to be advancement of the condition, and that means there needs to be a diversity of ideas. That we can't just rely on the ideas of the past of engaging in foreign wars, of violating people's personal ownership of justly acquired property, such as in the war on drugs. That we don't need to rely on the ideas of creating a permanent welfare state and the ideas of a central control of our monetary supply. Those ideas have been used for decades, for generations. The idea of the income tax, the federal income tax, and Social Security. If those ideas are the best ideas, then I think we'd be in a different position than we are now. It's very clear that relying on the old ideas that past generations have come up with over the 20th century, those are the wrong ideas, and we can learn from things in the past, and we can realize that what the true meaning of freedom is, and we can end slavery forever. Because if you look at it this way, that slavery was abolished after the Civil War, and Lincoln declared that from this point on, all slaves will be free. Well, a few decades later, they just adopted a new form of slavery, and that is the Federal Reserve System. And You can look at that throughout history, that barbarism, it has always been justified by some complex theory developed by the state or people who wish to give the state more power.